The thrilling story begins by showing some unknown individuals performing a ritual on a lady. This ritual is not an ordinary one but rather a demonic ritual meant for a dangerous demon. The girl who has been captured is in intense agony, and now, everyone present there begins to harm themselves so that the demon they are performing the ritual for becomes even more powerful. All the members of the group have a strange mark on their hands, indicating that they work for the devil. Suddenly, another lady is shown who wakes up from a nightmare. In her dreams, she sees many people coming together to kill a lady in this manner. Surprisingly, even though this terrifying incident happened 5 years ago, she continues to have these visions. This clearly indicates that the lady named Glory has some connection with these demonic people, though Glory is still unaware of all this. Glory used to live with her mother because her father had passed away a long time ago. In fact, Glory had a girlfriend named Joy, but Glory's mother did not like this at all. She wanted her daughter to live a normal life and marry a man. However, Glory always stayed with Joy and considered her as her life partner. Now, Glory and Joy are shown talking with several people in a large chamber. There was a psychiatrist present who listened to everyone's issues and gave them advice. At one point, a lady says that her husband beats her, and his aggressive nature has worsened her condition. Suddenly, Joy defends by saying that one should not blame God for everything. In this situation, one should retaliate and beat their husband. From these thoughts, it becomes clear that Joy is quite aggressive by nature and was sharing these thoughts with everyone. The entire session continued in this manner, discussing each other's problems to solve them and prevent them from being suppressed. In the next moment, Glory and Joy are shown on the bed, spending quality time together. Then, Joy gave Glory a very beautiful necklace for their anniversary, as it had been 2 years since they first met. Glory was extremely happy and kept the necklace close. After spending some quality time together, they both headed home, where Joy dropped Glory off at her place. As Glory was heading towards her house, an unknown man suddenly kidnapped her. He quickly grabbed her and locked her inside his van. At this point, Joy had no idea about any of this. She quietly went back to her house and went to sleep. After some time, when Glory regained consciousness, she found herself in the same van, with her hands and feet bound. Glory was terrified and couldn't think of what to do to escape. She managed to reach a cell phone nearby and called her mother. Although the call connected and she was shouting, the kidnapper suddenly arrived and put her to sleep with a drug. Before losing consciousness, Glory managed to say something on the phone recording, which reached her mother. However, she also noticed some strange symbols on the hands of the kidnapper, which resembled the symbols of the people she used to see in her dreams performing rituals. Glory understood immediately that these symbols were like those in her dreams and that the kidnapper was taking her somewhere else after making her unconscious. The next day, when Joy returned to work, where she and Glory used to serve food to everyone, she noticed that Glory was absent. Joy was a bit surprised because Glory always informed her if she wasn't coming. This made Joy very worried, so she immediately called Glory's home. When Glory's mother found out that her daughter had not gone to work, she went to check her room but found that Glory was missing. This made Glory's mother extremely anxious, and she went to check the phone recording. When she played it, she was shocked to hear Glory's screams. It was from the same time the kidnapping occurred. When the kidnapper was taking Glory away, Joy, upon learning about the situation, quickly arrived at Glory's house with the police. She explained everything and played the recording showing how Glory was kidnapped and taken away. The police began their investigation and assured that they would have their team spread out to help find Glory. However, Joy, who was extremely worried about finding Glory, shouted at the police, insisting that nothing should happen to her girlfriend. She also decided to search for her girlfriend herself. Joy went into a church where she gathered several people and handed out missing person posters of Glory to be put up around the city, emphasizing that Glory needed to be found because Joy loved her deeply, and they couldn't live without each other. The scene then shifts back to Glory, who was now experiencing continuous visions of the same dangerous ritual she had always seen. When she opened her eyes, she found herself in a strange house where the kidnapper had brought her. Glory realized that this man must be a member of the dangerous group that performed rituals for a terrifying demon years ago. She started shouting at the man, demanding to know what he wanted and why he had kidnapped her. The kidnapper responded that he was only protecting her and that as long as she was with him, her life would be safe. He explained that he would keep her there for a while, and once the danger passed, he would release her. However, Glory couldn't bring herself to trust him. She pleaded to be let go, saying her family was waiting for her, and questioned the purpose of her kidnapping. Glory continued to ask the kidnapper why he had imprisoned her, and the kidnapper finally revealed that years ago, when the ritual was performed on her, he had been among the people carrying out the ritual. They had forcibly included me in their team, but I did not want to do any of those things. All the members of that demonic group had sacrificed themselves by cutting their own bodies, but the kidnapper, Mike, had not done that. After the ritual was completed, he had quickly fled far from that place. The reason he wanted to save this girl, Glory, was that he wanted to protect her from those dangerous members who were working for the devil. Suddenly, Mike began to experience strange visions. It seemed as though Glory was trying to seduce him, freeing herself from all the chains, and trying to allure him. However, Mike quickly regained control and noticed that Glory was bleeding excessively and her condition was deteriorating. Mike had gone to check on Glory, but soon after, both of them started having visions of the same dangerous group. Mike told Glory that she would be safe as long as she stayed there until sunrise, but before that, she had no reason to go outside because the dangerous group members would be searching for her everywhere. Meanwhile, Joy was seen putting up missing posters of Glory all over the city. The police had also found the necklace that Joy had given Glory that night. It was likely that the kidnapper had dropped it when he was taking Glory away. The situation was becoming very dangerous, and Joy, continuously questioning a man about Glory, realized that he didn't know much but was pretending not to reveal anything. Joy became extremely angry and forced the man with a knife, demanding to know what he knew. This shows that, regardless of the circumstances, Joy was determined to find out where Glory was, even if it meant doing anything or taking someone's life. We then see the police officer who was investigating the case, discovering that Joy had injured a man in her search and that the necklace they had found along the way was connected to the case. Since the necklace was given by Joy, the police officer called Joy in for questioning. The police had begun to suspect Joy of having harmed Glory. This made Joy very angry, and she warned the police officer. However, since the officer had weapons, he told her that he would imprison her. Enraged, Joy used a knife to kill the police officer. But Joy didn't stop there. She went to Glory's mother and demanded to know where Glory was hidden. Glory's mother didn't know anything about this and was terrified, but Joy ended up killing her as well. No matter what, Joy was determined to find Glory. We then see Glory, whose condition has worsened, still asking Mike what all these things mean and why he is helping her. Mike started explaining the deeper story. About 5 years ago, an experiment was conducted on you. It was a type of ritual that could have revived an evil god. That's why you had visions every night. 5 years ago, the group's members performed the experiment on you, freeing the god, but because I escaped, the ritual was never completed. Glory asked Mike how the members could still be around if they had sacrificed themselves. Mike explained that the group members were growing rapidly. They brainwashed normal people and included them in their team. Tonight was a full moon night, and the group would perform the ritual on you again to bring their evil god back into the world. That's why I was protecting you and keeping you here. You have to stay very cautious because those group members are extremely dangerous. They possess dark powers due to working for the evil god, which can easily destroy anyone. Glory was extremely frightened by this revelation. She decides to stay with Mike, as he was the only one protecting her from the beginning. Meanwhile, Joy, who had killed both the police officer and Glory's mother without any remorse, heads straight to her basement at home. There, she reveals an ominous structure, which is actually the symbol of the demonic god for whom the group members were performing rituals. It is then revealed that Joy is also a member of the dangerous group trying to bring the demonic evil god back to life. Joy didn't love Glory, rather, she was keeping her for the purpose of preparing her for the ritual that night. Joy intended to use Glory in the ritual to revive the evil god with her group. The worst part is that Joy has lost Glory, and she cannot bear it. As a result, she punishes herself in front of the evil god. If Glory isn't found soon, the ritual won't be performed on the full moon night. Things are worsening, and more people are joining the group. If Glory is found, she will be tortured severely, and the evil god will be brought back to the world. Meanwhile, Glory, who is with Mike, tells him that she is experiencing severe pain in her back. When Mike checks, he finds 2 holes on her back from which a lot of blood is flowing. Mike becomes very distressed and goes to another room to get a knife, intending to kill Glory quickly. However, when he returns to Glory, she starts seducing him for some unknown reason. They get quite close and intimate. During this process, Mike feels something strange. He sees the demonic god spirit within Glory's body, slowly evolving and preparing to emerge. Mike immediately pulls away from her and runs to the other side. It then dawned on him that the last time the ritual was performed on Glory, the evil god had already bonded with her body. This means that a part of the evil god is still within Glory. Once the ritual is completed, the evil god will fully emerge and use Glory as a resource to return to the world. No one can save Glory from this devil, and gradually, her body will be completely transformed into a demon. However, Mike decides to stay with Glory until the end because he knows that Glory has nothing to do with these things. She is just an innocent girl. Meanwhile, we see Hamid, who is searching everywhere for Glory. A man informs him that he saw the kidnapper, whose face was completely burned, taking Glory in a van. He also provides directions. Thus, Joy, with one of her associates, sets out to find Glory. Joy's face indicates that she might know who kidnapped Glory. She and her partner hurry to the location. At the same time, Mike, who is with Glory, reveals another secret: Joy is actually his sister. Mike also tells Glory the truth that Joy does not love her. Instead, Joy is part of the demonic evil gods group, which aims to bring the devil back to life by sacrificing her. If Joy captures Glory tonight, it will be disastrous, as the demon will start to dominate her after the ritual, completely consuming her in no time. Mike has a feeling that Joy might have figured out that he is involved, which is why she is heading to this location. Glory, sitting in a corner, suddenly starts experiencing visions of the dangerous evil god, who seems to be approaching her. Panicked, Glory runs to Mike, who brings her inside to keep her safe, as the outside is even more dangerous. Mike decides to keep her there for a while. The next day, when he wakes up, when Mike went to check on Glory, he discovered that her entire body was beginning to change. Wings were emerging from the holes on her back, indicating that the evil god was taking over Glory and gradually turning her into a resource to return to the world. Mike was extremely alarmed and took a gun, deciding that whenever Glory lost control, he would kill her to prevent the ritual from being completed. However, the evil god would protect Glory fiercely, making it difficult for Mike to harm her. Every time Mike attempted to kill Glory, the evil god would come close and try to seduce him, distracting Mike from his mission. Despite his resolve to kill Glory, he couldn't bear her suffering and began to feel pity for her. The evil god within Glory threatened that once it returned to the world, it would first kill her mother and absorb her soul. Mike, terrified by these threats, tried to shoot, but the evil god showed him disturbing visions that left Mike disoriented and weak, causing him to flee from the house. Meanwhile, Joy had arrived at the location and found the van where Glory's mobile phone was located. This confirmed that her brother had kidnapped Glory. Joy first killed her accompanying partner to keep the secret, then went directly to confront her brother Mike. She severely attacked and injured him before reaching the cabin where Glory was tied up. Joy was thrilled to finally find Glory, as it allowed her to complete the ritual. Without delay, Joy began reciting the ritual incantations to let the evil god take over Glory's body and return to the world. As the process unfolded, malevolent spirits from the same group appeared, strengthening the ritual. Joy continued to chant the words, empowering the evil god and preparing it to enter the world. With each passing moment, Glory experienced increasing pain. Mike quickly comes to his senses and observes from outside the house to see what is happening. He pleads with his sister Joey, asking her not to do anything because if the evil god once enters this world, he will destroy everyone and cannot be controlled. However, Joey firmly states that she needs to bring the evil god into this world. She believes they have been given power by the evil god and that he is their master. Mike then makes a desperate attempt to break down the door with an axe because he wants to save Glory. But as Joey continues the ritual, Glory becomes increasingly weak, and it seems she might die, which would allow the evil god to come into the world. Although Mike manages to break down the door with great force, the evil god uses his dark powers to control Mike's mind and shows him disturbing visions. The evil god sends Mike to a different world where he experiences bizarre things. Mike realizes that this is a fictional world created by the dangerous devil, so he does not fall into the trap and starts fighting everything that comes his way. Mike then directly attacks Joey, his sister, which severely injures her, causing her to fall down. Meanwhile, the evil god has taken over Glory to the extent that her body has completely changed. The most shocking thing is that there is very little time left until sunrise. Glory is screaming so loudly that her voice can be heard for miles. Mike tries his best to save Glory. As Joey and her members continue the ritual, it is quickly completed. Now, right in front of Mike, a very dangerous demon is emerging from Glory's body. This demon is the evil god with immense dark powers. However, Mike notices that the sunrise has already occurred, so he pushes everyone away and grabs Glory, taking her out of the cabin. Due to the sunlight, the dangerous demon suddenly disappears, and all the group members are also destroyed by the light. Mike, who is now very weak, looks at the sun and says that he has finally saved Glory's life because he had promised to do so. Glory then opens her eyes after a while, which makes Mike very happy. But in the next moment, a dangerous demonic voice emerges from Glory's mouth, saying that it will take his life first. After that, Glory kills Mike in a very brutal way and absorbs his entire soul into her body. This clearly means that the evil god has completely possessed Glory and is using her body as a resource to survive in this world. The ritual was performed perfectly, and the demon has entered the world. The evil god, now fully alive, first kills Mike and then grows large wings from his back. Glory has now fully transformed into the form of the demon, a god of destruction. This demon does not leave any person alive who rebels against him. The evil god, now released, is so dangerous that he would have already wiped out more than half of the population. This is why the gods and the people of heaven had imprisoned this dangerous evil god in hell. Unfortunately, he has now been freed and will continue his previous actions. The evil god sets out to create his large army, which he had years ago, and spreads destruction everywhere. Gradually, he will expand his demonic group and annihilate everyone. This concludes our terrifying story.